Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. My pranams to all Swamijis, Swaminijis, and warm welcome to everyone. A 5-week course on Brahma Sutra, Samanvayadhikaranam Tattu Samanvayat, forms the basis of the play Samvada. While it may seem uproarious and charged at first, the Samvada dialogue ultimately culminates in a healthy discussion between groups of karma upasana and great Vedantins regarding moksha or absolute freedom. This dialogue will soon reveal its winner. The script has been thoroughly reviewed by none other than Swami Tattva Vidanandaji. Through the help of selected students from the course, Swamini Sri Vidyanandaji has directed the play. It's obvious that the script and actor will make this play extremely successful. We invite all Swamijis, Swaminijis, Vedanta course students, and online viewers to watch this play with relaxed minds and focused attention. The play will end on a very interesting note, so don't miss it. Stay tuned until the end. I wish all the actors all the best for a wonderful performance. Let me invite the moderator, Swamini Sri Vidyanandaji, to introduce the play. Shubham Bhuyat.
Namaskaram, Swami Tattva Vidanandaji, Swami Swatmatmanandaji, Jyotirmayanandaji, Swaminis, Shuddhatmaji, invited guests, and to all of you friends, Namaskaram. Welcome to the Samvada session based on the 4th sutra in the Brahma Sutras, Tattu Samanvayat. The topic of discussion in Brahma Sutra is the statements of the Upanishads. Upanishads form a separate subject matter from the rest of the Veda. The Karma Mimamsa is a shastra with sutras by Jaimini Maharishi, the Vartika by Kumarala Bhatta, and the Bhashya by Shabaraswami. That is an elaborate system of study of the Vedic statements. Does that include the Upanishads also? That is the question. They say yes. So you need not start another Shastra now, because what you wanted to tell in the Upanishads is already told in that Dharma Mimamsa.
Come on, Prasadanandaji, let's prove it to them.
Bhagavatis, Rajaranji, we have to do something. We have to find a way to defeat these Siddhantas. We have to do something.
Yes, Prasadanandaji, we cannot let them get away with it again. It will be a piece of cake this time. because they don't appear to be very smart. Fear not, I can taste the victory already.
Maybe in addition to it, maybe you can do some homa, some yajna, some puja, something to that effect to guarantee our success.
Yes, Prasadananji, let's do it.
My goodness, it promises to be an exciting evening already, doesn't it? You have been witnesses to the samvadas presented here and their outcomes. Unmindful of their defeats over the years, our Purvapakshis are back again in full form, armed with astras and shastras, as you witnessed a while ago, determined to win the battle by any means. Will they succeed? Will truth prevail? Time will tell. After all, we have 1 whole hour to prove the truth. All the ferocity coming from the Purvapakshi statements are objections to the Shastra as the source to know Brahman and to establish karma. So, here we go again.
Pranam Swamijis, Acharyajis.
Namaskaram, Acharyas. Most lauded Acharyas, pranams, we object vehemently to this conclusion that Shastra, that part of the Veda, which is Upanishad, is the source of understanding Brahman. And also that Brahman is independent, not connected with karma. And Vedantas are independent, not part and parcel of the Karmakanda.
Upanishads maintain that the karma is not going to give moksha. Is that not a revolt against the Karmakanda portion of the Veda? Karmakanda wants to push us into rituals, promises moksha also, and gives its own definition of moksha. Upanishad says, no, karma won't give you moksha. Karma is time-bound. Moksha, timeless. There is no connection between the two. Does it not sound like a revolt?
There are statements in the Upanishads such as Brahmavid apnoti param. The one who knows Brahman gains the supreme. Now what is that Brahman? What is the gain? It has to be examined thoroughly. To understand Brahman, you should go to the source, and the source is Shastra, the Upanishad.
Acharya ji, okay, let us say Brahman is independent, but why do you say you have to know Brahman? And what is the source for understanding Brahman?
To understand Brahman, the source is Shastra, the Veda.
But you can't say that because Shastra's import or purport is karma. Don't you know that? What is it that is presented to us by the Shastra? Karma, not Brahman. But now you declare that Brahman is Shastra Yoni. The origin of Brahman is Shastram, the Veda. No, that is wrong. It is not acceptable.
Why, revered Swaminiji? Please explain yourself.
Because amnayasya kriyartatvat anarthakyam athadartanam. Those statements which do not have anything to do with karma are worthless.
You cannot say Veda is the source of Brahman. Did you hear Jaimini Sutra?
What is that sutra you are referring to, Swamiji?
The one Swaminiji just referred to. Amnayasya kriyatvat anarthakyam atadarthanam. Jaimini introduced dharma, dharma jignasa, the inquiry into the dharma. He does not admit anything called Brahman. There is only dharma and it is karma. Enjoined karma is dharma, and therefore dharma alone is there, not Brahman.
Vedanta does not convey message of any karma. Therefore, they are redundant. You take up the redundant Upanishads and say Brahman is Shastra Yoni. How can Shastra be the Yoni for the actionless Brahman? Shastra is the Yoni for karma, not for Brahman.
Jaimini Maharshi, the great Acharya of Purva Mimamsa, declares those statements which do not have anything to do with the karma are worthless. Therefore, now let me put it together, Acharya ji. Vedas have only one purport, and that is karma. And even within the Veda, if you see a statement that has no connection with karma, we are obliged to say that such a statement is a waste. That is how Jaimini roars in his sutras.
Jaimini says Veda teaches karma, and in case you dig up the Veda and pull out a paragraph in which there is no mention of any karma, then that portion is worthless. But one thing you have to understand, without any connection to a given karma, this particular paragraph hanging all by itself becomes anarthakya, redundant.
But Bhagavati, you cannot say that portion is worthless because you pay reverence to Veda. Being part of a Veda, you cannot dismiss any part of the Veda.
That principle stands. Therefore, we have to find a way out. We find a way to connect that paragraph with a karma.
Swamini ji, you cannot say that they are redundant because you ask any Veda Pandit, are you a Vedic scholar? He will say yes. Did you study the entire Veda? Yes. What is the last part of you have studied? Upanishad.
Look at this Vedanta statement. See whether you can connect it to Karta or Devata. Anando Brahmet Vijanat. Can you connect it to Karta? There is some connection because Anando Brahmeti is about the Karta. By connecting the to Karta, you have connected it indirectly to karma. Now it is no more that much redundant. You have to do some such thing to connect karma one way or the other. Only then that part of Veda becomes meaningful. Otherwise, it becomes redundant.
No, Bhagavan, it cannot be redundant. All Vedas need not teach karma only. There is a small portion of the Veda which is a revolution. It teaches you to know Brahman, and that Brahman is not a phala of a karma. Phala is what one gets by performing a karma. When it comes to Brahman, you don't get it, you discover it.
The statement of the Veda must have a connection to the Kriya, to the mandate. Aham Brahmasmi has no connection to any mandate. Tattvam Kuru is a mandate. Tattvamasi has no value. Such statements are without any connection, either directly or indirectly, to the mandate. Such sentences cannot be meaningful.
Karma section is all about karma. Vedanta also must be connected to karma. That is the only logical way to make Upanishad meaningful. Let us come to Brahman. Is this Brahman something to be accomplished by effort?
No, it is not something to be accomplished by effort, it's a sadhya.
Then what is it?
It is what it is. It happens to be your own reality and it's ever established, already in place. Parinishita vastu, siddha vastu. You got it?
Okay, great. If it is lacking something, then action will create it. Therefore, action has a role to play.
But if it is already there and it is complete in itself, Now there is no scope for action because Vidhi mandate is not there. Therefore now, what do you want to say, Swamiji?
We say there is nothing like Parinishthita Vastu Swarupa Brahman. As far as the Veda is concerned, you have to create heaven for yourself by doing karma. Create sukha. Avoid dukkha by doing karma. Create sukha by avoiding wrong karmas. And not create dukkha by performing prohibited actions. We have to be clear about it. Therefore, the Upanishads have to subserve the rituals. Otherwise, they become redundant.
No, we don't want them to become redundant. Not only Vedantins, but also Mimamsakas also don't want them to become redundant. Jaimini is not interested making Upanishad redundant. For that reason, he is showing us the way out. If we accept, then the Upanishads become subservient to the mandate of karma.
Oh, Acharyas, what is the purpose of the Vedantas, the Upanishadic statements? You tell us about a thing, the real, which is called Parinishthita Vastu. This thesis of yours is not valid. You have to find some meaning for the Upanishads by connecting to karma.
Audience, look how clever these Mimamsakas are. By hook or crook, they try to pull a trick or two and get their thesis established as they did it with the Agni Devata. As you all know, karmas of the Veda mean homa, etc. So when you do a Vedic ritual, you have to give dakshina to the priest. That dakshina may not be silver, rajatam na deyam. It is a prohibitory mandate. Then there is a story called Arthavada. Listen to the sad plight of Agni Devata.
Swaha, Yamaya Swaha, Mayave Swaha, Kuberaya Swaha, Ishanaya Swaha, Varnaya Swaha, Om Indraya Swaha, Yamaya Swaha, Vayave Swaha, Kuberaya Swaha, Ishanaya Swaha.
Most revered Swamijis, Swaminis, and the beautiful audience, pranams. I am a little out of breath with all the running around. Please excuse me. You see, this is like this. I receive oblations from the people here on earth who are making fire rituals and take the oblations up in heaven to my brother Devatas. This is an endless coming and going and coming and going and coming and going. No surprise, on a festival a day like this, I am so overworked and drained of all energy, can hardly stand. I sometimes think, what is going on? I am also a Devata, to be revered, one of the Mahabhutas at that, and also has a high-sounding title, job title, called Havya Vahana. But look at my fate. I am reduced to a mere FedEx employee. And then here, you people might need same-day delivery, but up there, they wanted instant delivery. So it's so unjust and unfair to me that one day I got so depressed, tears welled up in my eyes, and they rolled down onto the ground. Lo and behold, they instantly turned into silver. Someone, a OMM, started this rumor that if silver is given as dakshina in any fire ritual, then the dakshina will make the giver cry, because the silver is born out of my tears. And this became a prohibitory mandate in Nisheda Vakya, that Rajatam Nadeyam, thou shalt not give silver as dakshina. The mandate is very clear, and the Veda is for mandates only. Giving silver as dakshina is prohibited. Now, this story, the Arthavada, reinforces the mandate. That is how it got connected to the Vedic mandate.
Indraya Swaha.
All right.
Yamaya
This is my call for duty, and duty is my dharma, so I have to go.
Ishanaya Swaha. Varnaya.
I'm sweating.
How was that? I'm sure you won't get this in heaven even. A very sad plight indeed for the Agni Devata. But as Swamiji says, even Devatas are not exempt from Sukha Taratamya. Now the topic turns to Shastra Yoni. Purvapaksha objects to the thesis that Brahman has the Shastra as source. Shastra in the context of karma commands, like the 10 Commandments. Whereas when it reveals something, when it helps you to see something, then it is not a commandment. Let us see how the players handle this.
Upanishad is very much part of the Veda. The essence of the Veda, Vedanta, which reveals the truth. Therefore, Upanishad is the source of Brahman.
You claim that Brahman is Parinishthita Vastu, the reality, which is ever established timelessly, whereas karma is created by effort in time, in flow of time. That is the fundamental difference between the karma and Brahman. The Veda is there for karma, which is in time.
What is the source of your karma?
Veda, of course,
Why should you perform Somayaga?
because Veda mandates it.
What about Brahman? Is not the Veda the source of the Brahman?
No, Shastra is not the source of Brahman.
Respected Acharyas, please take it easy. This is not meant to be an argument. We are merely sharing what we understood these past 5 weeks. Let us examine this Brahman a little more. What is the universe? All objects of consciousness form the universe. Unless you look at the universe and understand it as a collection of objects within the realm of time and space, you cannot appreciate what Brahman is. Only in contrast to the unreal, you appreciate the real. No matter how refined your intellect may be, speculation will not take you into reality. Reality is be silent. In that silence, the reality, spaceless and timeless, reveals itself to you. Silent means you should dismiss the Nama Rupa and space-time. Now the reality will take you in, will engulf you. This is how you come to reality. It is your own innermost self.
Brahman is the source of everything because it is in everything. Brahman can neither be proved nor disapproved. It is in you, it is you. It is not an object to be recognized and stored up in memory. So, within the mind, you cannot prove the Brahman. And beyond the mind, you need not prove Brahman. Brahman is not the result of a process. Heaven is the result of a process. From these statements of Upanishad, I want to realize Brahman.
Realizing Brahman means what?
Very simple. I am timeless. I am spaceless. That is realization of Brahman. I am not the body mind. So at once you uplift yourself from body and mind. That is the realization of Brahman. That is the purpose, and for that reason only the Veda Shastra is there.
All right. Brahman can be realized from the statements of the Vedanta. What is the way?
Through Samanvaya, it can be translated as the central theme of Upanishads, and that central theme is Brahman, which is Shastra Yoni.
Wonderful. Give us some example of those statements.
It is not putting all the Upanishads in one place, but understanding the central message. Therefore, Shankaracharya brings in sentences from 4 major Upanishads as the illustrative samples of Vakyas, gravitating towards one message, which is Brahman. Therefore, Brahman has the Shastra as its source.
That is one aspect, that every sentence is very cogent, conveying the message perfectly, and the message happens to be the essential nature of Brahman. We have examined the centers severally. Now we look at them together. All of them are conveying the same message. You can see for yourself that avagati. It is not about hearing the 4 sentences one after the other. You can clearly see all these 4 sentences coming from the 4 different Upanishads of the 4 different Vedas are pointing towards the same Vastu. That is the Samanvaya.
Even when all that is understood, yet you attempt to connect these sentences to mandate, karta, devata, etc., that is a distortion. This kind of an effort, Ashruta Kalpana, does not behoove you.
Kumarila Bhatta says that all sentences about Brahman connect to the Karta. So you look at all the sentences as glorification of the Karta, etc.
We say, revered Acharya Kumarila Bhattaji, you are very great scholar. But where is the Karta there? The statement you are referring to does not have any connection with the Karta. Is it presenting the Swarupa of the Karta? Karta is a doer. Brahman has a no cause, not an effect, no other. That is the statement. Now, that statement, is it connected or applied to Karta?
What Karta? Karta is a myth. All divisive thinking, fragmentary thinking is false. So this is how Shruti is dismissing the Karta. That being the case, how are you going to connect these sentences with some mythical Karta?
It looks like Mimamsa have surpassed themselves in the following argument about the Siddha Vastu. Listen to what they come out with now. Quite amazing, mind-blowing argument.
Somebody wants to go to heaven. It is not a Siddha Vastu. You have to create a heaven for yourself by karma. It has to be accomplished. Now, where do you put the Brahman? In Siddha category, because it is the Siddha Vastu. It is not something created. It is timelessly. So, in such a situation, you do not need karma because that Brahman has to be realized.
So, Bhagavati, the argument is that Brahman is Siddha. Then it becomes an object of means of knowing. Okay? What are the means of knowing? Pratyaksha and Anumana. You readily have them. Sadhya Vastu becomes an object of karma, right? But Brahman is Siddha Vastu. Therefore, it is not object of karma. It is an object of Pratyaksha and Anumana. Okay? If it is not Brahman, if it is not an object of karma, then it has no place in the Veda, because Vedas are meant for karma only. Brahman is Siddha Vastu. You need not create it. You have to see it. Suppose it's in Himalayas. To go to Himalayas, you don't do any karma. To see a volcano, go and see the smoke and infer it.
If Brahman is Siddha Vastu, you have to perceive or infer it. it has no relevance in Veda. Veda is meant for telling you what to do and what not to do. A thing which is seen and known or which is seen and inferred has no relevance with karma. Veda doesn't fit into that context and that doesn't fit into the Veda. Right. Therefore, let us conclude now. There is no connection between Brahman and Vedas. Vedas have only connection with rituals, do's and don'ts.
I disagree, revered Swaminiji. Brahman is not created by karma. Even then, it is not an object of perception or inference. These pramanas do not help us to know Brahman. Then how to know Brahman? Veda indeed reveals a reality called Brahman. How? Like the statement Tattvamasi in Chandogya Upanishad, it reveals Brahman as your innermost self. It is not outside Veda. Veda helps us to know Brahman. Veda is not only about karma, but also about Brahman.
And also, suppose Shastra does not tell you about Tattvamasi, then you have no way of knowing that you are a Brahman. You hear Shastra from someone and investigate, then you will realize that you are the timeless reality Brahman. That is how Tattvamasi inspired generations of people and still inspiring. When you have the love for the vision of the statement Tattvamasi, it shakes you up and makes you think, what am I doing? How wrongly am I looking at myself? That is how expression, the message, Tattvamasi inspires people of the right attitude. There must be someone to give the right message, and that message is Veda.
Tattvamasi is from Veda. Then how can you say Veda has nothing to do with Brahman? And that Veda is only karma? This truth, Tattvamasi, has to be told by someone. Shastra is guiding us. That is the vision conveyed to us by the Veda. Just because there is no karma in the Upanishads, it is wrong to say that they are invalid.
Bhagavan, Veda has all the methods for Heya, to get rid of things that need to be gotten rid of, and for Upadeya, things that you need to gain. Veda has methods, processes, which is karma. Is there something to gain in the Veda? Do you have to gain the real self?
Of course not, because it is already gained. It is there. You need not make it. You need not create it. You need not embellish it. And you need not purify it.
Then there is something to be gotten rid of, like dukkham.
No, because dukkham is not real. Where is there to get rid of? Dukkham is always imagined.
It seems like in your thinking there is nothing to be gained, Upadeya, and there is nothing to be gotten rid of, Heya. Because there is no Heya or Upadeya, there is no need for any method, instruction, but still you want to instruct Upanishads. If there is something to be kept at bay and something to be gained and enjoyed, then there will be a method, a process. Then that process can be instructed. That is how Veda becomes meaningful. But you claim from the rooftop that there is no Heya or Upadeya, therefore instruction is redundant. They have no purpose to serve.
In Vedanta, if there is no Heya or Upadeya, is it a disadvantage or Alankara? It is Alankara. But you Purvapakshas present it as disadvantage. It is indeed glory. When there is nothing to be avoided or gained, the entire humanity is myself. Mine is the religion which envelops and encompasses all. This is the true religion. The entire humanity belongs to the religion which I subscribe to. That is my religion called Vedantic religion.
I look at myself closely. Do I need anything? I do not need anything. I do not have any agenda. So who can hurt me? There is nothing to be gained by me and nothing to be gotten rid of by me. So, Purnoham, I am fullness. Pay attention. Watch closely and discover yourself. That's it. The entire universe will bow before you.
Swaminiji, we're very certain in our thesis. If it has no heya or upadeya, what instructions would be possible? The very instruction becomes redundant, purposeless. Therefore, there is no meaning for Tattvamasi Upadesha.
Tattvamasi instruction is very much valid, Vipravara. Because of that instruction, the human goal is accomplished. You give an advice, I hear it, examine it, explore it, know it and realize it. And that makes me free from a variety of troubles in life, such as fear and so on. When you are afraid, you cannot think freely. When you think freely, your fear starts dissolving readily. Tattvamasi makes you think and understand the whole process of living. We are living in fear and insufficiency. Karma, which immerses you in heya and upadeya, only strengthens the samsara. That is not the solution.
What they're talking about is, though Brahman happens to be essentially the timeless being, it cannot be a subject matter of perception, inference, etc., because some truths of life do not fall into those categories. Then the only way of knowing the truth about Brahman is to depend upon the advice from the Shastra. This is how the Siddhantis presented their thesis. One thing we have to give credit to the Mimamsaka is, clever as he is, he has something under his hat all the time. Look what he's going to pull out now.
You have admitted Saguna Brahma Upasana. Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat, Prano Brahmeti, etc. is Saguna Brahman. Therefore, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. are also just the same way. These statements are subservient to the mandate of Upasana.
Bhagavati, you may want to pull us into Upasana, but that is not possible. In that case, Brahman becomes the object of mental worship. That is not the statement of the Upanishad. We have already declared that Brahman is one without a second, divested of heya and upadeya. When oneness is established, where is the scope for mental worship? Think, Swaminiji, think.
Upanishads are the Shastra of Brahmajnanam. They reveal the knowledge of the self. It is not connected to mandates. It is not possible to dismiss the authenticity of the Upanishads because the knowledge of the self culminates in liberation, moksha. You experience it now and here by knowing yourself. How can you say that understanding because it is not connected with any karma or mandate is not authentic? For example, what is the mandate in the statement, this is not serpent, this is a rope? Nothing. Yet, that statement eliminates my fear of the serpent.
Swamijis, have you not heard the statement of Swami Vivekananda? Human beings is potentially divine. He has only to know it. Redemption means moksha, which is implicit in the very existence of the human being. Now the divinity has to be manifested. Discover your divinity by bringing it out.
Yes, take the guidance from the Upanishads and prove to yourself that you are divine. Discover your Brahmanhood. The source of Brahman is indeed Veda, the Upanishad.
Now the Karma Brahma Vichara is concluded. We enter into the field of mental worship, Upasana. Purapakshi is in full form now, because it is his favorite topic. Words cannot give expression to his thesis. Listen, you will see what I mean.
Esteemed Acharyas, is it not true that Upanishad present Brahman for the purpose of mental worship, Upasana? You are not Brahman, you are a mere jiva, a limited person with pleasures and pains ever. But if you worship Brahman mentally, that will uplift you, bless you, give you benefits, and that mental worship gives happiness to you.
But Vipravara, that happiness for how long? All actions, including mental worships, results in fleeting happiness only. In Upasana, you have to superimpose an idea on a thing, like visualizing a cone of turmeric powder as Lord Ganesha. It is merely a manipulation of the thought process for a while.
Upasana is rooted in the duality of Upasaka and Upasya. In the above example, turmeric is other, Ganapati is other, and you are other too. It is Dvaita all the way, because even turmeric and Ganapati are not the same.
Yes, that is the way our Upasana works. There is no Advaita and there is no Jnanam, no realizing in Upasana.
No, Bhagavan, no. The word Jnanam means Upasana only.
Jnanam is the thesis of Upanishads. Why are you insisting on Upasana in the place of Jnanam? In the Upanishads, you hear statements such as Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, etc. They suggest oneness, whereas in Upasana, there can be no oneness. Why are you so particular about this Upasana?
Bhagavan, did you say Aham Brahmasmi? Are you really Brahman?
Yes.
Never ever say I am Brahman. You say that only for a short time when you do Upasana. Otherwise, Swamiji, you get papam. Okay? This is the Upasana. Not oneness. No Jiva Brahma Aikya. The vision of Upasana in the Upanishads is that whenever you hear the word Brahman, think about Upasana, but it is Upasyam Brahma.
O learned Acharya, you claim that Veda is all about Kriya, but there are Bhuta Vastus, Parinishchita Vastu, such as Akasha, curd, ghee. They are not created by us by karma. So Veda is not only talking about Kriya, but it also mentions things that are in the world. So your statement that Veda is karma only is not tenable.
Kriya is the essence of a sentence, and in that sentence, you find a word or two which represents bhutartha, something which is already there. Offer some rice grains as oblation in the fire, that is the mandate. There are many such things that are offered in the oblation. They are all bhutarthas. They are mentioned in the Vedas to tell you that such things exist in this world. Curd offered as an oblation in the fire has to be connected to the Kriya. Only then does it find a place in the Veda. They become relevant only to the extent that they connect with the Kriya.
You say Brahman is Bhutartha. It is what it is. And that you may not connect Brahman to a ritual. But Veda talks about Brahman because you have to mentally worship that Brahman. Therefore, the word Brahman, which is a Bhutartha, should be connected to the act of mental worship.
Shabaraswami and Jaimini declare unequivocally that Shastra is there only to command and nothing else. It has nothing to convey except inspiring the person to do. You perform actions with things you know, therefore move in the direction of a given thing and perform an action. That is how they are commanded, and there is prohibition, thou shalt not do. It is also part of the Shastra. All that moment which is in the form of karma is determined by the Shastra. Therefore, the person's life is dictated and determined from birth to death by Karma Shastra.
Everything revolves around karma. So you have to fit your Upanishad also into karma. Then it becomes meaningful. You see, Acharyaji's, whether you want to safeguard karma or not is different. But if you want to save Upanishad from redundancy, you have to connect it somehow to karma. You Vedantins want immortality. So, Then you meditate on or worship Brahman mentally. That is the mandate, and it comes from the Upanishad. Now it has become auxiliary to the mandate, and so Upanishad becomes valid.
Respected Panditji, here the inquiry is about Brahman, which has to be created by. The inquiry is not about Dharma, which has to be created by action. Inquiry is about Brahman, which is Bhutam, ever there, ever accomplished, Nirvrittam.
What is the big difference between the two?
Adato Dharma Jignasa. Dharma is inquired into in Karma Kanda, but here it is Brahman. There is a tremendous difference between the two. Dharma is that which has to be created by effort, whereas Brahman is Bhutam, ever existing. It is the being, not becoming. Brahma Jnanam is wisdom. In understanding Bhutam, what is, the truth is discovered.
Is the truth of yourself becoming or being? The Karmakanda suggests it's becoming, but Upanishad says it's being. You are in the process of becoming something, okay? Becoming something, something, something all the time. In the Karma and Upasana, you are caught in the net of time. It has to end because it is in time. When the becoming ends, there is the being, which is Brahman. How simple it is. Virtue is in being. You need not become anything because you are Purnam Brahma. That being so, when you are so emphatic that the essence of entire Veda is a mandate and that there is nothing other than doing and becoming, we fail to see the logic in it.
Try to understand what is. That is the discovery of truth. You see, immediate perception of the truth liberates. In knowledge that you accumulate, there is a process, a happening in the mind. You have an idea about something and believe that it is knowledge. The world is not real the way it appears to be. My happiness does not depend upon the outer. These are understandings, not knowledge accumulated. That inner space is understanding, which leads to creative joy, the joy that you get from the person, that freedom. So abide in that pure being.
No, it is not going to be that way. It is true that Brahman is not presented in the Karma Kanda or Upasana, but at the end of the Veda in the Upanishads. But the question is, how is that Brahman presented? The Brahman is presented by the Upanishads is associated with the mandate of karma or upasana to be performed by you.
You know Brahman, Purnatvam in you. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati is the Vedantic vision. But keep the Vedantic vision aside. Examine all those statements of the Upanishads, the Upasana mandates. You clearly see the Vidhi hints everywhere. Upasita, Veda, Kartavya, Shrotavya.
Prasadananda Garu, do you think Shravanam, listening, is a karma? For us, listening is not karma. Do you know what a Shravanam is? Have an open mind, listen to the speaker and understand it, gain an insight. That is Shravanam. That is not Vidhi, but you revered Acharyas have picked up those statements which look like Vidhis and present them as arguments and insist that the Veda is meant for only Vidhi.
But Bhagavati, Upanishads have to fit into Vidhi. They may not fit into Karma Vidhi. Alright? But they have to fit into Upasana Vidhi, Pratipatti Vidhi. Atma va are drishtabhya is the Vidhi. You have to worship Brahman mentally. Without knowing what that Brahman is, how will you do that? In this sentence, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Brahma is described as all these things, okay? Now, you know what Brahman is. You can mentally worship Brahman. Brahma Veda is the sentence of mandate. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma sentence connect to the Upasana mandate and it becomes meaningful. And that is how Upanishad statements becomes useful.
When you worship Brahman mentally as Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa, you know what happens to that Brahman now? It becomes an object to be recognized as such and stored up in the memory so that you can conduct mental worship.
But Bhagavati, the real is not an object to be recognized and stored up in your memory. It is the source of everything and it is in everything. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa are descriptions about you. You are that. In that sense, you are Brahman. That is Jnanam, something that you have to realize. But you do not accept anything called Jnanam. You accept only karma and upasana.
We agree that there is jnanam in the world, but it has no intrinsic value, no purpose to serve. Only karma does. Therefore, whether jnanam is there, it must be part of karma or upasana. It must be pratipatti vidhishesha.
Acharya ji, Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, infinite. That being the case, what is there to give up? What is there to get? Neither hana nor upadana is possible. That means neither nivritti nor pravritti is possible. So it is a useless sentence. What is it doing here in Veda? Can you accept that? If you say no, then make it part of Upasana Vidhi. We do not want Vedanta Vakyas to become redundant, purposeless. They are part of the Veda, therefore follow Upasana Vidhi Pravesha.
Revered Pandita, it is not the snake but rope is a statement of the factual situation. Is there something to do about it? No. Is there something to avoid there? No. Tell me this. In which there is no hana or upadana, is it valid or not? It is very much valid because it gets its validity by eliminating the fear that is caused by misapprehension. Therefore, how can you say a factual statement which has no connection whatsoever to karma or upasana is worthless? How can you say that there are no such statements in Veda?
Respected Bhagavati, yes, what you say is valid with regards to the snake and rope. When listening to the words, what you see is not a serpent, it is indeed a rope, your illusion is gone instantly. But when Vedanta keeps on saying, not just once, or for a week, or for a month, but for years, that you are not samsari, you are Brahman, Tattvamasi, has the suffering arising from samsaritvam taken away? No. So you need only karma and upasana.
So we are back to the rope snake example. Nayam sarpaha iyam raju applies best to people gripped with insecurity all through their lives. Swamiji says, it is necessary to investigate these threat perceptions because there is no truth in any one of them. You perceive a threat. Can you stop it by doing a karma? No. So, inquiry is the only way, not karma. We urge the Purvapaksha Acharyas to please watch what is to follow. The full import of inquiry will be clear.
Thief! Thief! Help someone! Help! Swamiji, please say a mantra or something.
Amma Jaya, please come here. Come here, please. What are you afraid of?
Swamiji, there's a thief and a big snake.
Please come with me. Now, look at it. What do you see?
I don't want to look. I'm afraid.
Jaya, there is nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. Just open your eyes. See it now.
A thief? Oh, no, it's a tree stump. It's just a tree stump.
Now, Jaya, what is that hanging from that branch?
A snake. Oh, a rope. An old rope. What ignorance. Pranams Acharyaji, thank you for opening my eyes and helping me to see and realize my error.
All Mahatmas, Brahmacharis, and all dedicated Jijnasus, Namaskarams from this Chandrananda Swami. In examining what you saw and heard a while ago, Nayam Sarpaha, Ayam Rajju, means what you are being threatened by, that threat perception is false. It is irrational, no logic in it. In this story, what you have to understand is the pain and the fear are physiologically factual. The entire physiology is controlled by the mind. It is adversely affected, is undergoing changes as per the mental perception, which is a misapprehension. What is not real is taken as real. Now, when Jaya knew with the proper apprehension that it's not a thief but a stump, and not a serpent but only a rope, all the physiological effects vanished instantly. Then this story is very valuable. You all know by this time, this is what happening in our lives. Our Swamiji looked at this fearlessness from a different angle. Then in the Swami's words, you see that fear is called Bhayam in Telugu. Freedom from fear comes when you are able to think freely. Freedom here means you understand the process of life. Discover the process of life. Discover what is real, and you become free from fear. The discovery proves that there is nothing to lose, therefore nothing to fear. Realization is not a result of a process. It is like an explosion, which is beyond the mind. By knowing your mind well, you can avoid the mind disabling you. You will become free from false thinking and fear. The fear born of ignorance of what is. Dhanyavadal Swamiji for an excellent teaching, and Mangalam to all. Please give me permission, this Swami, to leave.
Wasn't that a great performance? Please give them a... Now, judging from the Purvapakshi's expressions, it doesn't seem like they are very inspired by Chandrananda Swamiji and Jaya's realistic presentation. Because now they have more to say. It must be something reasonable. Let's hope so.
Esteemed Acharyas, with all due respect, I point out here is a sentence based on which you do Vedantic Sravanam, Srotavyo, Mantavyo, Nitidhyasitavya. It means that listening, understanding, and contemplating must be done. It talks about doing in 4 different ways. Is it asking you to pursue jnanam, or is it asking you to do something? Therefore, we have no choice but to accept that Brahman is presented by the Veda as an object of Upasana Vidhi only, and not as something that is to be understood. What's there to understand?
We beg to differ, Bhagavan. Your argument is faulty because you fail to see the distinction between the two. In Karma Vidya Palam, you perform karma and wait. And when the time comes, the results like heaven, etc. will come. Brahma Vidya Palam is realization of one's true self as the timeless reality, which is already there, not something to be newly created. Upasana mandate has absolutely no relevance here.
Acharyas, you talk as if you know the entire movement of karma and karma pala. Sri Krishna said, Gahana karmano gatihi. The connection between karma and its pala is difficult to fathom. But in Brahma Vidya Pala, you get a hint of yourself as a Purna. It liberates you then and there. You will know that this is the outcome of understanding and make the connection instantly. So, there is a great distinction between the two.
Respected Panditaji, let me tell you more about karma. Shariram, Vachikam, Manasam cha karma, Shruti, Smriti, Siddham, Dharmakyam. Threefold karma is in the form of physical, verbal, and mental worship. They are mandated by Shrutis and Smritis and known as Dharma.
Bhagavati, we don't dismiss karma and upasana. We just want to preserve jnanam. We are only trying to convince you that there are pitfalls associated with karma and upasana. You do karma as long as there is life, which can cause endless sorrow in different forms, at different levels, physical and psychological, and the karmas bind. When you give a thought to all of that, you can step out of this life of sorrow and live as long as you live in peace and quiet. That is our advice.
Acharyaji, we Mimamsakas don't admit to that. In fact, karma and upasana are the solutions for the sorrow. I will tell you how. When you perform a dharma bodily, verbally, or mentally, the phalam is sukha, which comes by speaking pleasant things or hearing nice things and becoming happy. And mentally you remain exhilarated. This is how all kinds of phalas of dharma are enjoyed by people, or enjoyed by people. Then there is adharma, the prohibited action also, and its phalam is dukkha.
Bhagavan, as long as you think you are the body and mind, moksha is not for you. This tendency to define yourself in terms of body, I am so and so, I do this upasana, etc. This obsession will pull you further down into samsara. You still have some years to live, and to live fully in peace, address this issue here and now. The pleasure-pain barrier will collapse, and you remain in peace, which is moksha. There is a freedom from inexorable cycle of pleasure and pain.
Why do you Siddhantis insist on Atma Jnanam for moksha when you get that moksha by karma and upasana?
No, Bhagavati, no. Moksha is not a result of karma and upasana. There is not even a hint of pleasure or pain in moksha.
Acharyaji, we're very clear about our stand. Earlier we said dharma gives you pleasure, but now you declare dharma gives asariratvam, which is another name for moksha.
If that is your stand, esteemed Acharyas, then please listen attentively. Ashariratvam, bodilessness, is natural. It is not result of action. Action born of desire pollutes the mind and the body. You have to create space between body and mind by seeing and understanding. That is moksha. Ashariratvam itself is moksha. It is not the domain of karma phala. It is distinctively different, therefore nitya, eternal, which is moksha.
But no, we demand.
Enough. Peace be with you, Bhagavati and Bhagavan. Please try to keep in mind this one last word of wisdom, and that is the divinity that you are aspiring for, the divine that you are trying to worship by all kinds of means. You can realize it in yourself by constant inquiry into Shastra. This is because the consistent focus of the Shastra is Brahman, which is the whole and which is the truth of yourself. Tattu Samanvaya. Om.
Poor things. Every year the same thing happens. Even though the Siddhantis prevailed, truth prevailed, the Purvapakshis need not feel a sense of defeat because they are rendering a great service to us in that when Swamiji's words come alive on stage through the enactment of the amazing challenges raised by the Purvapakshis and the irrefutable responses of the Siddhantis, it clears many of our doubts and we gain clarity. Isn't that true? So, won't you please show them your appreciation with a resounding applause for their enlightening presentation. Now we will turn to the next segment of the program. You are probably wondering why the smile on this Swamini's face. Something that Swamiji said while concluding the topic of Ashariritvam came to my mind. Swamiji said, if you all remember, Ammaya, and asked us, are you satisfied now? You remember that? Now, not wanting to interrupt the class, we quietly said yes to ourselves. Am I right?
Yes.
But tell me this, was there a but after the yes? Yes, Swamiji, but was there? Right? Come on, tell me. Come, one of you please come up and tell me and complete the sentence, but Swamiji. There, Indrama, Randi, please come.
Reverend Swamiji, my pranams. Swamiji, it is a very difficult topic of Brahma Sutras, Samanvayadhikaranam and Tattu Samanvayat, explained for the past 5 weeks in a very simple and lucid way, effortlessly. So you don't need any effort to know yourself. That is what it is. We are blessed and satisfied for now. But, Swamiji, we need many, many more of such enlightening sessions. Edil mange more. We don't get this kind of application, part of Vedanta, anywhere. It is so inspiring, and for that, we are very grateful and thankful to you. Don't you all agree with me? Thank you, Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji on behalf of all the students of Vedanta. Thank you for the excellent rendition by all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Indrama. I couldn't have said it better. You see, Swamiji, you cannot stay away from praise. Praise and appreciations from us are part of your occupational hazard. During these past 5 weeks, unraveling the Purvapakshas thread by thread, with various illustrations and infinite patience, you drove us to a corner from where we could not help but see the truth. Mere words of praise fail to give expression to the fact that your words have taken on a deeper dimension in all of us, and that your benevolent guidance has been a life-changing journey. And so, Swamiji, it is with immense gratitude we say, Dhanyoham, 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 for all that you continue to do for us. Thank you, and thank you again. And now, Swamiji, we request you to please give the Anugraha Bhashanam. A little bit now? Okay, Swamiji, as you wish. Okay, Swamijis and Swaminis and invited guests, I invite you all to please applaud our players for their tremendous role playing. Prasanananda ji and Kartikananda ji as Siddhantis. Prasadananda ji and Rajananda ji as Mimamsakas. Chandra as the wise Mahatma. Can you all recognize who that is? No, I didn't think so. We'll keep it a secret till the end. And Jennifer as the best screamer ever. Gave an excellent portrayal of their parts. Thank you for adding a flavor of excitement to the Samvada. And here is our glittering Jagdish as Agni Devata. And don't you think Jagdish missed his calling? He is Broadway material for sure. Now, over the past 5 weeks, we heard that we are constantly trying to become other than what we are in various ways. But did you all know there is a method which accomplishes this transfer quickly and effectively? You want to know what it is? Makeup and costumes. Excelling in this art is our own Sangeeta, Lata, Sashi, and Pratima. Now, look at our Agni Devata, Chandrananda Swami, our Siddhantis and Purvapakshis. Aren't they proof enough to prove that makeup and costumes can accomplish the transfer quickly? Our gratitude knows no bounds. To set the stage with all the elegance in art, here are our artists, Francis and Matthews. They played a dual role as priests performing the Homa also. What a pair of devoted helpers. Now, what is a play without a script, right? Usha and Chandrasekhar have been formatting, printing, and compiling the program booklets for all the Samvada so far. Believe me, it's not an easy task. And of course, our indispensable audio-video supermen, without whom we would never have been able to see the light of day. Sadev, Pandu, and Chaitanya. Our housekeeping ladies are not only thorough in their work, but go that extra mile to reach out and help. They went above the call of duty and devoted their spare time, lunch breaks, weekends in putting together this amazing tree stump. It is so real that even the real looks unreal. Please give Kathy a resounding applause. And Tracy is not able to be here. And now, respected Swamijis, Swaminis, and dear friends, we take leave with grateful hearts for your support and encouragement during the Samvadas over the past years. I'm sure this segment of the Brahma Sutra has been an inspiring 5 weeks for all of you. As Swamiji said, when the mind is utterly still, the truth comes into the fore as your innermost self. Stay with the vision and imbibe it. Unquote. Until we meet again, I offer prayerful wishes for Bhagwan's grace to abide in all of you, always and in all ways. Namaskaram. And the last thing in the order of business is the photograph. No, Swamiji, it is not for us. It is for posterity. The children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So please come up on the stage.
So thank you for a wonderful effort. Please come.
You request Swamiji to? No, I stand. Swamiji, please join us. Give a chair.
Please come.
Ah